Welcome back to this World of Warcraft Let's Play. You're with Sambo, and joining us as always is our Worgen Mage, Seraphis. Give us a wave, go on. Hello, how are you today? Now, before we get started in today's episode, folks, I do notice that up the top we've got a message here. If you remember in the last episode, we submitted a ticket. That's right, we entered one of these tickets to a GM because we were having an issue with the /love sheep. Remember that it wouldn't show up in the achievements list. If you look up the top here, it actually says you have received a ticket response. Click here to read it. So let's do that. And here we go. You can see that the ticket pops up in the customer support screen. And there's our message. Hello, I'm trying to type /love when targeting a sheep, but it's not counting off against the to all the squirrels I've loved before achievement. And I typed where I was in the zone of Duskhaven using the sheep on the Allen farmstead. Thank you. And we've got a GM response. Look at this. Greetings, Seraphis. I'm terribly sorry for the delay and that I was unable to speak with you personally. Thank you so much for taking the time to submit this report. I will add the information you've provided me to any information we've already gathered about this and forward it to our development team, who will investigate the issue fully. And then it gives me a link to the bug report forums and the hotfix blog. In the meantime, it seems that only certain sheep work for this achievement. If you venture over to Elwyn Forest or Redridge Mountains and /love on a sheep there, then I should correctly receive credit for this achievement. I apologise for any inconvenience this may have caused, etc, etc, etc. Regards, Game Master Aaron Muir from customer service at Blizzard Entertainment. So we can say message read. You will no longer be able to view your response message if you mark it as read. Are you sure you want to mark the message as read? Yes, we do, and that will close the ticket. We also see up the top here, you have been chosen to fill out a GM survey, so we might as well do that, seeing as they took the time to actually respond to our ticket. Please answer the following by selecting one of the circles. How satisfied are you with World of Warcraft overall? I'm going to say extremely satisfied, because here, well, you know what, I am. How likely are you to continue playing World of Warcraft in the future? Well, that's extremely likely, knowing me. How likely are you to recommend WoW to a friend? Extremely likely. I recommend it all the time. Thinking about your most recent contact with Blizzard, how satisfied are you with the service the representative provided? And I was extremely satisfied. They weren't able to resolve it straight away, but they did give me some solutions, so that's good enough. The representative clearly understood my reason for contacting Blizzard. Yes, I strongly agree. The representative was knowledgeable. Strongly agree. I was treated like a valued customer. I sure was. The representative provided clear and accurate information. He sure did. The representative explained how my issue was going to be addressed. He sure did. How many times did you contact Blizzard to have this issue resolved? Just the once. How satisfied are you with the amount of time you had to wait until you were in contact with a rep? Well, I'm basically not extremely satisfied, but it wasn't bad. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about? What could we have done to make this a better experience for you? No, that's okay. We'll submit that. There you go. Your survey has been submitted. So that was quite interesting. There you go, folks. That's how you report a problem in WoW. And as you can see, they do get back to you fairly quickly. All right, back to the questing. You may remember in our last episode, we were being asked to run around the zone and warn some people and gather them up because we're going to have to evacuate the area. And just to refresh your memory once again, you can see that we're in this area of Duskhaven and it got a great big chunk taken out of it. Something happened and the land sunk into the sea all over here. And so we've been asked by the mayor to go and talk to people and get them to evacuate. And we had one more to do, which is the Hayward brothers. Speak with Sebastian Hayward at the Hayward Fishery. So that's down below us to the south. Now before then though, I can see that we have, here we go, a couple of mineral nodes, a couple of copper veins. And of course, just like we mentioned in the last episode, we never want to let them go by because they are basically money for jam. Do not ever walk past a node without mining it because you're just missing out on money. And of course, you're missing out on leveling up your craft. So there we go, a couple of those done. And that'll bring us in some much needed dollars. And you can see our skill in mining has increased to 26. So if we bring up our professions tab, you can see here this little bar going along, 26 out of 75. So we're just over a third of the way to leveling that out and being able to train the next level of mining, which means we'll be able to mine different types of nodes, which is great. Because of course, as we go to the higher level zones, the nodes change and we move from copper to bronze, I think it is, to silver. There's gold, all sorts of things, and of course the higher up we go, the more money they get and the more better things they can make. Anyway, we're going to make our way over here to the Hayward Fishery. So it looks like a little, here we go, a little coastal area. And oh, there he is, Sebastian Heywood. Looks like he's totally surrounded by Forsaken. So let's leap in there and give him a hand, see if we can have a chat to him. So we'll pick off these guys. Here we are, discovered Hayward Fishery. Let's have a look at the map. So yeah, this opened up down the bottom here on our map. Alright, so we're going to open with the old Frostbolt, of course, just like last time, which places that slow buff on the mob. And don't forget too, we have our new ability, which is, whoa, we got knocked over then, the Frost Nova. That roots them in place, which means we can get out of the way of their melee attacks, step back and cast from safety. Great little combo of skills there. Let's pick off a couple more, seeing as we're at it. Do like combat and WoW, lots of fun. And finishing off with the fire blast there, just to give a complete blast to knock them off. And the slow frostbolt, and they're snared. And we'll do a fireball as well, and a fire blast, and that took him out totally. Now we probably don't need to kill these guys because they're being engaged by the other Hayward brothers there. But hey, it's XP. Oh, and you see that? Get knocked over. And that Frost Nova, that one actually killed them because of course Frost Nova not only snares a target but it also does damage. And getting knocked over, by the way, or in this case it was called planked, for any mobs that knock you over, it does interrupt your spell casting ability, and of course there's a short delay while you get to your feet in order to be able to cast again. And it looks like we're doing very well at clearing these guys out. Let's open with the Arcane Blast, Arcane Missiles, just because they were up. And there they go, they're up again, and while he's rooted, you can attack him from afar. And those Arcane Missiles do quite a significant amount of damage. And you can see we're picking up all sorts of mobs at the same time. Alright, looks like we don't have to kill these guys because they respawn very fast, and their attention, oh, getting knocked over again. Their attention is being diverted by the other Hayward brothers there. So we can just carry on up and talk to Sebastian Heywood as we're supposed to. You there to give us a hand, he says. Oh, look at that, we've leveled, we're now level 9, congratulations us. Well done, Seraphis. Okay, we've got a new ability available called Counterspell. We'll look at that, of course, once we get back to the trainer. My brothers and I can reach northern Gilneas by boat in a matter of days as soon as we finish the repairs. So we've got a quest here called Not Quite Shipshape. Evacuation, you say. We have to obtain planks of wood, coal tar and shipwright tools because they need to repair their boats, so we'll accept that. We obviously have to do a bit of a gathering quest. And we've got another one here called Washed Up, which actually gives us some new boots, which is great. They give us +9 armor, and we can see them on us. No, we can't because we've got big furry feet, so you don't get to see boots on a Worgen. Help us hold them back until I finish making repairs on the boat. So we've got to kill 6 Forsaken castaways. And I noticed glowing off in the background there. We'll just take a small diversion and look at the lovely water. Look at the ripples. I love this new water. We've got ourselves a copper vein over there. As always, we're not going to let that go by. There we go. We've got some, what do we get? Some extra stuff. We've got some malachite, or malachite, depending on how you pronounce it, which is another thing that comes out of nodes, and it's used for blacksmithing, engineering, and jewel crafting, so we definitely want to keep that. We've got 24 copper ore there, so lots of crafting to come up. We've got 16 rough stones. We've got ourselves a loose chain belt. We've got some cloth there. What do we got? An old wolf fur coat, which is less armor, and we've got some loose chain pants as well. Now I'm just going to make, if we go to our first aid, I'm going to make ourselves a linen bandage just so we don't have to carry around that linen cloth. And of course, the more bandages we have, the better. What else have we got? Nothing much. Let's just reorganize our bags quickly so we've got room. There we go. Alright, let's get to it. What do we have to do? Not quite shipshape. Let's have a look. We have to take some tools, some planks of wood and some coal tar. Now no doubt they're lying around the place, but let's clear out some of these mobs because it looks like the first one is up over there by the house. Here we go, and some more linen cloth, which is always handy, always welcome. Doing well. Got ourselves some patchwork shoes, I noticed there. Let's just check that they're not... Oh, they are. They're better than the ones we've got. Plus 12 armor, in fact. So let's right-click and equip them. Oh, says we're in combat. Oh, I'm not sure why it thinks we're in combat. Let's try that again. Huh. I'm honestly not sure. Maybe let's attack something else, and maybe it'll get ourselves out of combat. You can't equip or unequip items when you're in combat. Alright, let's try that again. That's better. And of course we go to our equipment manager, click on that name normal, which is the set I named, and click on save, and now those patchwork shoes are part of our set. And here we go. Here is a barrel of coal tar. And if I hover over it, actually says not quite shipshape, which of course is the name of the quest. I can also see a copper node over there and some planks. Lots of things to collect up. Let's clear out these mobs. Jolly good. And here's a plank of wood for the quest. And we've got to find some shipwright's tools. And where are they? They look like they're, excuse me, going to be over the back here somewhere, or maybe they're going to be in the house. Oops, we're entering combat. So we got within the range of this guy. This is where Frost Nova comes in handy. Root them in place, and then launch our barrage of arcane missiles, fire blast, and cleaned them up pretty quick. 5 of 6 of those, by the way. And there we go. I was right. The shipwright's tools are in the house. Alright, so all we need now is to collect the copper node, because we're not going to let that go. And we're going to take away this mob, and that's of course going to count for our last one for the quest. There we go. Forsaken Castaway slain 6 of 6. And money, 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 mining. Oh, and we picked up a shadow gem. So that's another, there's another player over there. That's another type of drop that will come out of nodes, and that's used for blacksmithing, engineering, and jewel crafting. So once again, very good to sell on the auction house. So make sure you keep it in your bags, or of course to use if you're any of those professions. Radio, not quite shipshape. There we go. And oh, look at that, we get ourselves another bag, which is great, because you can see down the bottom here we've got our normal backpack, and we've got 2 extra 6 slot bags. By completing this quest, we're actually going to get another bag, and it's automatically popped into our bag slot down the bottom, and that's actually an 8 slot bag, which is fantastic, so very happy about that. By the way, you can rearrange the order of these bags any way you like as well. Alright, washed up, and we're going to choose our reward, which of course is the cloth boots. That's what we want. And look at that, we got ourselves an achievement for 50 quests completed. Can you believe it or not? Already we've done 50 quests. Time goes so fast in this game. There we go, 50 quests completed. We get ourselves 10 achievement points, and it does tell you the date which you get that achievement. Up the top we've got a summary tab, and of course you can see a running total of the last 4 achievements that you got and the date that you got them on. So you can see we basically started this character on the 8th of the 5th, and it's now the 14th of the 5th, so 6 plays later, and we've got ourselves 50 quests completed for a total of 20 achievement points. And by the way, this down the bottom here just gives you a rough overview. Achievements earned 2 out of 1,307. A number of them don't count. For example, like the collector's edition, they become feats of strength down the bottom here. And you can see that these are rewards that don't count, or rather achievements that don't count towards the total. They don't have a value associated with them, but they're either very unique or very difficult or very rare to get. So anything like that is classed as a feat of strength. There you go, it says feats of strength. on the tooltip that is, are accomplishments that players will find very difficult if not impossible to earn. Worth no points, feats of strength are a collection of past glories on Azeroth. And of course Azeroth is the world that we're in. You can see here it's all divvied up by the professions, player versus player, exploration, etc. And even on the summary page, if you want to go in and say, what one quest have I done in general, you can click on general and that will take you to the general tab. And that of course was, can I keep him for 10 points there, obtaining a companion pet. And by the way, there's also guild achievements. Now we're not in a guild yet. We'll have to put ourselves in one at some point. There are guild-based achievements and they give a great number of perks and we'll go through them later. And also there's a statistics screen here just in case you didn't know. And this has a mind-numbing array of various, all sorts of different statistics. For example, here we can see the largest hit dealt, the amount of creatures killed. We've killed 246 creatures already. Total deaths 2. Total gold acquired, bandages used, there's all sorts of things, number of hugs, arenas 1, professions learned, we've got 2 there, total killing blows, cooking skill. That's just in the summary. We can go down into the character, our wealth. We've got the most expensive, most expensive auction bid, auctions posted, total average of gold earned per day. Most expensive auction sold, gold spent on travel, most gold ever owned. We got quests, we got deaths, dungeons, you name it. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. Total amount of cheers, total amount of times lolled. So for example that says 1. Let's type lol in here and that should update. No, it doesn't update. Maybe it updates once you log out. Anyway, there's a ton of stuff in the achievements menu and of course that's the Y key. Alright, let's pick up this new quest now.
How
See
are
what he's
you?
got to say. Escape by sea. Thanks for your help, Seraphis. This ship is ready to sail. Now you go and tell Miss Armstead that we're not going to be part of the land evacuation. We Haywards have been men of the sea for generations. If we're to leave our home, we're going to do so by sea. So we have to go back to Gwen. And of course we do want to go back because if we look in our abilities menu here in our spell book, we can see we've got a new spell because we've dinged level 9. There's one more to get there and it's in the arcane tree. Let's use our Hearthstone to get back quickly. Oh, actually no, I can see a copper node, so I've just moved at that point there. That is so that I cancel that cast of the Hearthstone. Whenever you move, you cancel any casted ability or item or spell. The reason for that is, yes, that's right, because I want money. Alright, whoa, there's the big Hillbreaker guy again. We want to avoid him, so there's quite a way to go. So let's be cheats, basically, and use our hearth. That's what it's there for. It's going to take us straight back to the inn. And we shall do that. And by the way, while we're there, we'll probably do some crafting and selling up so we empty our bags before we evacuate the town. Now let's just check if we've got any cooking skills that we can learn. No, because we're only 11 out of 75. We need to be 50 in order to progress those skills. We'll check the first aid trainer as well. We may be able to learn a heavy linen bandage. No, that's at level 40. By the way, I'm pretty sure we got a couple of bits of linen. Yes, we did. So let's create those 2 linen bandages. So now we're at skill 12.
Have a good
Very
one.
good. I must say Worgans are a bit weird jumping over things, not as easy as the other races. Whoops, don't want to talk to you. What we do want to do is go to our trainer and go to the general goods vendor, go to the bank and also go to the forge. So lots of stuff to do here.
How about we make a deal?
Right, let's sell our junk with Sell-O-Matic, of course. We want to sell these boots. We also want to sell this fur coat. What else have we got there? We don't want to sell those because we're going to put them on the auction house. We do want to equip our new boots, however. So we'll put them on and of course save our new equipment set. There we go. And now we can save our old patchwork shoes. There we go. Just checking our other bags. Alright, time for the bank and some crafting quickly. La 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 la. Running around Duskhaven. Okay, we go to the forge, which you remember is over here. And let's bring up our smelting window and we can make 28 copper bars. Good lord. That's amazing. Now, I'm going to keep an eye on this skill here. You can see this is turned yellow now. Basically, when you've got it highlighted, whatever the colour the bar is, that's what's the colour of the text underneath. Now that it's yellow, it doesn't guarantee that it's going to skill up every single time. And in fact, you can see there in the chat log, there's a couple of copper bars going past for every one skill up. So it's reduced its effectiveness. Now I'm going to interrupt that while we've still got some copper ore left, and I'm just going to go to the trainer in here. You may remember there was a jack of all trades trainer. See if we can learn anything else, seeing as we're slightly higher skill. Train me in mining. And what is it? Okay, bronze, tin, and silver. We need to be level 65 in mining in order to get those, so that's no use to us yet. And skinning. Right, we're only 16 out of 90 there. While we're here, let's pop some things in the bank. And once again, you can just right-click on them to chuck them in whatever bag is available in your bank. Put those bars in there. There we go. We can now go back and finish off the smelting, now that we know that we can't get any more until a much higher level. So let's bring up the smelting UI and just finish them off. We've got 12 to go. And what are we up to? 44 of 75. And you can see there, 4 copper bars have gone past. 5 of them, in fact, it took in order to get a skill up. So this is the incentive for learning new recipes. As you gain more skill in your craft, and by the way, it's the same for any craft, you really need to start getting more recipes, because of course it becomes harder to level them up on the lower level recipes. And you can see there now it's actually green. So that's going to only level up every sort of 5 or 6 items that we make, unfortunately. Alright, let's go to the bank again.
Open for business.
Pop those bars in there. Now, we don't need the mushroom forest cap, so we'll pop that in our bags for later as well. Cheerio. And, of course, not forgetting, we need to go and train our new skill. Very exciting.
Ain't you a chipper-looking one?
We are a chipper-looking one. Counter spell. Let's train that. And here it comes down onto our bar. Let's see what it's all about. Interrupts a spell by being cast by an enemy. Now this is a very important spell type to have, especially when you're a caster. Best used to prevent enemies from healing or using high damage spells. So just as it says there, this is going to require us to keep an eye on enemy mobs. Now a lot of the mobs that we're going to come across in these early stages of the game aren't spellcasters. They're mainly melee characters. In other words, they're going to come up and beat on us with a stick. But later on, and especially obviously in dungeons and higher level areas, you're going to come across some fairly powerful NPCs that have all sorts of unique abilities that do all sorts of messed up stuff to you. Now basically...
Good day.
Good day. A counter spell will interrupt casting by them. And the other great thing that this is good for, of course, is when you're PvPing, when you're playing other players. So if you see a mage or a warlock or something like that winding up a great big fireball or shadow bolt or frost bolt, some kind of big high damage long cast spell, put counter spell on them and that will interrupt them. Very, very handy. Alright. Let's head back to the mayor.
I got a bad feeling.
Alright, maybe the Haywards will fare better than us. Who knows? They're going by sea. Alright, it's time for everyone to head to safety, and that includes you, Seraphis. Head to Greymane Manor, and the others will be there shortly. Don't worry about me. I'll make sure that everyone makes it out of here in one piece, even if we have a few ferals we have in the pens. Once you get there, speak to Queen Greymane about the gravity of the situation. So we have to speak to Queen Mia Greymane inside the Greymane Manor. So let's accept that quest, and it looks like we're going to get an automatic ride, and look, we're getting a ride all the way up to here. I'll show it on the map, all the way up to there to Greymane Manor, and you can see it in the distance there. So that's the manor we were looking at, of course, when we first arrived in the zone. As we look back across the zone, what a great view it is out there. And you can see that this manor was not just scenery, it's an actual factual 3D model. Just like most of the World of Warcraft, it's real. If you can see it, it's either you can get to it or it's not just a pretty picture in the background. Alright, here we go. Look at this. So it looks like we're out the front of the manor, and we've got some stagecoaches there ready to evacuate. That's pretty cool. We've got a general goods vendor on the stagecoach, so that's quite handy. Hello.
You've come to the right spot, you have.
we have, and there you see we can sell our greys and we can buy all the crafting and trading goods that any good general vendor has. And of course any buybacks from any sales that we've recently made that we accidentally made, we can actually repurchase them, which is very
Cheers,
cool.
mate.
And there's Lorna Crowley up the top. Hello. Let's say g'day.
Greetings.
Greetings. Alright, let's run up to the manor then, shall we? Gosh, it's just like an old haunted movie manor. I love it. And there we go, looking way out over the zone that we're on. And you can see down there in the foreshore, all this area here, which was farmland, is now just cracky. It's all underwater. Amazing phasing technology. I know I go on and on about that, but it really is something special. I don't know many other games that use that technology to such a great effect. Alright, so it looks like all the villagers have gathered up here at the manor. Here we are in Greymane Manor, and look at that! So cool, we've got the God Rays turned on. That was a new addition to the WoW engine in the most recent patch. They didn't used to have those God Rays streaming out from, between tree leaves and through windows like this. Very, very cool. Love it. Right, here's Queen Mia Greymane.
What can I do for you?
Seraphis, I've heard much about you. I understand you were crucial in my family's survival during the outbreak in Gilneas City. We have carriages at the ready and we're just waiting for King Greymane's word. That's right, more rep for Gilneas there, very nice. You ought to speak to Gen, and of course that's the Gen Greymane, the king. He's been locked up in his observatory ever since this ordeal started. I'm sure he's working on a plan for his people. Speak to King Gen Greymane in the observatory.
Long live Greymane.
There's another
What's
daughter,
his
obviously,
story?
Tess. Let's see if we can find King Gen Greymane. He's probably upstairs here somewhere. This very cool looking manor. And it's unusual not to have the sound of rain, isn't it? Because of course this zone is deliberately rainy and gloomy. So it looks like he's up the top of this very tall tower. That's very cool. And look at that, I can see some Horde Zeppelins and some Forsaken battleships over in the background there. Those Horde Zeppelins are actually a mode of transport. Not for a while, of course, but once we get further into the game, we won't see the Zeppelin Horde, of course, because we're not the Horde, we're the Alliance. We'll see ships. But there are many different modes of transport in WoW, and that Horde Zeppelin out there for players is actually one of them. That's very cool. Whoops, there's the telephone. So let's go up here. I see we've only got a couple of minutes left in this episode. Perhaps we'll pop up and see King Greymane. Take a look at the view while we're over here. There we go. We can see way out. There's a lighthouse out there in the distance. And there you go. You can actually see the, the Horde Zeppelin out in the distance once again. Let's see if we can carry on upstairs. I love the music too. The background music in this zone is very old school British Gothic horror. Played on the old harpsichord. I've always been a big, huge fan of the music in WoW. Absolutely fantastic. He is looking at an observatory, isn't he? Because it's telescopes. Mind you, up here he's got one heck of a view, that's for sure. You can see right out over the peninsula there. Whoops, there's someone who really wants me on the phone, and you know what, we are out of time anyway, so we should probably wrap this episode up. We will speak to King Gen Greymane at the beginning of our next episode. No doubt he wants us to have a look over the land, or possibly do. In fact, I do remember, I think from when I first played this, I've got a funny feeling we're going to have to do something with that Zeppelin. Don't take my word for it, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was something like that. So anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed that episode as we continue this evacuation of Duskhaven. And I do know what happens, remembering from when I first played this. Very cool stuff happens as we start to move off into the next zone in this land, or this zone of Gilneas. It's very cool, so stick with us. Hope you do join us for the next episode, and of course I hope you're having a great day. Thanks very much for taking the time to watch it. So on behalf of myself, Sambo, and Seraphis, our Worgen Mage, it's us saying take care, see you later, and bye-bye.